So are you thinking of making a move to Atlanta, Georgia? I cannot wait to talk with you today because we have so much to cover. I'll talk with you about the nitty-gritty of life in Atlanta, Georgia. So we're going to discuss jobs, activities, schools, but we'll get to that in a minute. When you stay till the end, I will share with you one of the best kept secrets of the neighborhood that you definitely don't want to miss. So let's jump in and get started. If this is your first time on the channel, I want you to know everything about Atlanta, Georgia and the surrounding suburbs, then go ahead and subscribe below. Be the first to know about the current market in Atlanta, Georgia. Hey y'all, my name is Holly Smith and I'm with Keller Williams Atlanta Partners. I've lived in Georgia for all but 10 years of my life. My team and I love helping people make their move to the suburb of Atlanta. And so whether that's in 9 days or 90 days, y'all feel free to reach out. All of our contact info is in the description and we'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to the suburbs of Atlanta. All right, so here's an interesting fact about Atlanta. Did you know that Atlanta is the only North American city destroyed by war? That's why Atlanta's symbol is the phoenix, because it's known as the city that rose from the ashes. In 1864, General Sherman completely burned the city to the ground and only 400 buildings survived the fire. All right, so y'all, let's jump into the pros and cons of living in Atlanta. We're gonna start with the pros. Atlanta does have friendly locals. It's known for its genuine Southern hospitality. Residents often greet each other with just like a, hey, how's it going? You know, making newcomers feel welcome. The warm atmosphere definitely makes it easier to strike up a conversation just in the grocery store and around town, and to just easier to build connections in the community. According to Honest Local, making friends in Atlanta is easier than making friends in other cities, especially compared to Portland, Oregon. If you're open to creating conversations and getting out of your comfort zone, you're gonna find that Atlanta is a very friendly city. Next up, we've got a diverse job market. The city definitely boasts a robust job market, especially in sectors like technology, healthcare, and film. Major companies such as Home Depot, Coca-Cola Company, and Delta Airlines are headquartered here, and that offers a lot of employment opportunities. Within the city limits of Atlanta, there are 16 Fortune 500 companies, and Atlanta has one of the highest concentrations of Fortune 500 companies in the United States. There's also currently huge growth in the entertainment industry, as Georgia is quickly becoming the new Hollywood. It's called also the Hollywood of the South. Next pro is the cultural hub. Atlanta is definitely rich in cultural attractions like our theaters, museums, and music venues. You've got events like the Atlanta Film Festival and Music Midtown that provide residents with just a lot of entertainment options throughout the year. And the Fox Theater, High Museum of Art, and the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra are a few examples of the endless entertainment options. I love going to the Fox Theater personally. Their Broadway shows are absolutely wonderful. My favorites were Beauty and the Beast and Phantom of the Opera. All right, next up, we've also got a reasonable cost of living. So when you compare Atlanta to other major cities, it does offer relatively affordable cost of living. While housing costs have risen just overall, expenses do remain manageable for many families living in Atlanta. You can afford the comforts of life without the constant worry of emptying your pockets and maxing out your credit cards, especially when you compare the cost of living to places like San Francisco or New York. Honest Local, I like some of their quotes, and they kind of compare living in Atlanta to finding a $20 bill in your jean pocket on a laundry day. They say it's not like winning the lottery, but it's definitely a welcome surprise. And according to payscale.com, you'll need a minimum salary of $51,000 to live comfortably here, with a median home price of $464,000. The housing expense here is about 7% lower than the national average, and the utility prices are 10% lower than the national average according to PayScale. Next pro is mild winters. So now if you prefer milder winters, Atlanta's climate is definitely appealing. The city experiences just mild temperatures during the winter months, making it comfortable for those who dislike harsh, cold weather. That's me, for one. The winters here are just cold enough for you to put a little color in your cheeks, add a jacket, maybe a scarf, and you're not gonna have to wrestle with a snow blower or shoveling out mounds of snow just to clear your driveways. That's definitely a plus, right? Here in Atlanta, snow is just a beautiful spectacle, like powdered sugar on a fresh donut. It's really thin usually, and it's just enough to make everything look beautiful and magical. On rare occasions, there are snowstorms, but most schools and businesses will shut down for the day, allowing you to stay indoors and just honestly benefit from the beauty of it. All right, next up, we've got diverse neighborhoods. Atlanta offers a variety of neighborhoods, each with its own unique charm. From the upscale Buckhead area to the artsy vibe of Little Five Points, there is a balance that suits different lifestyles and preferences. Atlanta has also recently been called one of the best food cities in the U.S. because of the food diversity with a plethora of cultural cuisines besides your just traditional Southern comfort food. So if you're looking for top-rated public schools for Atlanta neighborhood, these are the best according to niche. You've got Piedmont Heights, Sherwood Forest, Ansley Park, Morningside, Lenox Park, goes by both of those names, Virginia Highlands, and then you've also got the suburbs of Buford, Peachtree City, and Alpharetta. So those are good options. Okay, next up we've got Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta Airport. So if you are a frequent traveler, having access to one of the world's busiest airports is definitely a significant advantage, right? Hartsfield Jackson offers numerous flight options, making both domestic and international travel convenient. The airport employs 63,000 people, y'all. That's mind-boggling, right? And there are 107 million passengers per year that travel through its hub. Atlanta consistently ranks as one of the busiest airports in the world. So when you have an efficient airport in your hometown, you're always able to get where you need to go, right? All right, next up is green spaces. The city boasts over 300 parks and green spaces, providing residents with a lot of opportunities to just do outdoor activities and to just relax. Popular spots like Piedmont Park and the Atlanta Beltline are definitely favorites among the locals. The Beltline is a large network of multi-use trails that can connect a lot of in-town neighborhoods, and the Beltline is repurposing 22 miles of unused railroads and that encircle the city's neighborhood, and it creates walking and biking trails and just creating a lot of green space. It's pretty calming. All right, next up, let's go over the cons of Atlanta. So the first up, I definitely know you probably have heard of it, is the traffic congestion. Atlanta is notorious for its heavy traffic, especially during rush hours. The city's layout and high number of vehicles can make commuting time consuming and definitely stressful, and residents of Atlanta often do face long commute times, especially during peak hours, which can impact your work schedule and of course then your daily life as well. My first job out of college was at Georgia Pacific downtown, and I drove an hour and a half to travel 30 miles one way. So my work day really got extended by 3 hours because of the commute. Eventually, I was able to transition from working 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to working 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. and that cut my commute time down to 45 minutes each way, and that difference was definitely wonderful and amazing. All right, next up, so you've got limited public transportation, which is why the traffic, right? So while there is MARTA, Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority, it does provide bus and rail service. Coverage is limited. So many residents find it necessary to own a car to navigate the city efficiently, and I would definitely say that you do need that. Atlanta has a walk score of 48 and a bike score of 42. The city is pretty spread out, so you're really gonna need that car to get around. However, some blogs like Reddit and stuff, they're gonna say that MARTA feels unsafe, particularly when you're traveling on it outside of heavy commuting hours. If you're on it when all the other commuters are, you probably would feel a little safer. Next con is hot and humid summers. So summers in Atlanta can be, just high heat, high humidity, and it can make it uncomfortable for some people. You're definitely going to want to be prepared for higher temperatures during these months. You're going to want air conditioning in your car and your home in order to be comfortable in June, July, and August in Atlanta. The next con is urban sprawl. So the city's just expansive growth has led to urban sprawl, resulting in longer commutes and reliance on automobiles. And this spread can make it challenging to access certain amenities without driving. So according to ARC, which is the Atlanta Regional Commission, the average commute of someone working in Atlanta is 39 minutes or 19 miles one way. So Atlanta commuters lose an average of 74 hours each year due to traffic. So something to consider. Next up on our con list is the high crime rate. So while many neighborhoods are safe, some areas in Atlanta experience higher crime rates. And you're really going to want to do your research and choose your community carefully when you're considering your move. According to niche.com, Atlanta crime rate is 75.4 out of 100. And according to US News, Atlanta ranks 7.7 out of 10 for crime. Its rate of property crime is higher than the national rate. So according to Neighborhood Scout, Atlanta has a crime rate of 48 per 1,000 residents. That makes it one of the highest crime rates in America compared to communities of all sizes. Okay, you can look at the neighborhoodscout.com to check out the crime map. I also recommend checking out spotcrime.com. When you look at the crime map on Neighborhood Scout, you're going to see that northern Atlanta has a lower crime rate compared to the south side and the west side. According to Sirix Monitoring, Buckhead and North Druid Hills are among the safer areas of Atlanta, so they tend to have a higher housing price. All right, so our next con is allergies, right? Atlanta's lush greenery can contribute to high pollen counts, especially in the spring. And if you've got allergies, you may find it challenging during peak pollen season. Some say you can combat seasonal allergies by purchasing locally sourced honey to use in your food. Y'all, the pollen here in the spring is no joke. It will cover your car in yellow and sometimes look like a miniature tornado swirling in the wind as it moves around. Seriously, the pollen here is like no other place. Next con is insects. Now, the warm climate here, which we love, of course, because we're not having to deal with harsh winters, it's also ideal for various insects. They like it too. Mosquitoes, cockroaches, fire ants, and termites. Residents often have to take measures to manage these pests, particularly during the warmer months. If you own a home in Atlanta area, you're gonna wanna treat for bugs and especially for termites because they can do quick damage on your house before you know it. And here in the South, we have a common quote that is either you have termites or you're gonna have them. So you're gonna wanna go ahead and treat to prevent them. Our next con is our limited outdoor recreation variety. So while there are lots of parks and green spaces, some residents feel that Atlanta lacks diverse outdoor activities compared to other cities. Options for like hiking and water sports, it's just more limited. You're gonna have to travel outside the city of Atlanta to find good water sports activities and mountain trails to hike. Now, if you're coming to the Atlanta area, some of the best kept secrets in Atlanta, according to TripAdvisor, are the Swan House and the Center for Puppetry Arts. The Swan House was built in 1928 and offers a beautiful opportunity to glimpse into the commerce, culture, and comfort of the Jazz Age just before the Great Depression. It's kind of like a miniature Biltmore House if you've ever been there before. Then the Center for Puppetry Arts is a magical place where you're educated and entertained. This center really highlights Jim Henson and his work with the Muppets, which y'all, I love the Muppets. I think they're so cute and they just make me laugh. There's also a wonderful global collection of puppetry traditions from major cultures around the world there that you're gonna see. So come check them out if you're in Atlanta, both of those things. All right, so now coming back to our recap of what we've talked about, Atlanta presents a mix of advantages and its challenges. It's a city rich in culture and opportunity, but it comes with considerations like traffic, climate, and crime. So if you're thinking about making Atlanta your home and you need assistance with finding that perfect place to live, please reach out. I'm happy to help you navigate your move to this great city. Thanks for watching, and don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or for additional information and get started relocating to Atlanta today. Y'all have a great one. See ya.